Good evening. I hope this video is going to be helpful to some of you who have questions about the empathy project that you're doing, a plea for understanding. So this is going to be a short video, and if you need help slowing it down, just pause it and look at the parts that you need to look at. So the first thing I want to say is that you have this slideshow template, which you don't have to use, but I suggest you use it. The second thing I want to say is that while the minimum requirements are that you do all of the things in this slideshow, there are some things that count more for your grade than others. And they're not exactly obvious from the slideshow. They are on the document that you used ahead of time to prepare for it. So I'm going to explain the slideshow, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more that isn't on the slideshow to make sure that you're doing the slideshow correctly. The first thing is that you need to make a copy of the slideshow. So you go over to where it says File, you make a copy of the entire presentation. Instead of calling it Copy of a Plea for Understanding It, you call it, obviously your name is not your name. And you can hit share it with the same people, and that will make sure that I get it right away. So the second, now you've got your name, you've got your slideshow, and somewhere along the way in your research, you found the quote that is going to be the title of your slideshow. And so you're going to type that in here. And then you're also going to say where you got it from. So it says source name. I don't want a whole website. If the website's name is, let's say, Google Slides or Google Docs, then the name is just the first part of that before, right after HTTPS, before the first slanted line. Hello, Deja, I'm just creating a video, so hang on a second. A video for your assignment, and you could listen to that.
Okay.
So,
okay.
All right, so give me about 3 minutes. So then the next thing is you go slide by slide, all right? When I say subject, I'm talking about the person or group that you're doing your presentation about. Now here you'll notice it says insert image. You'll need to insert an image. The image can be the person, or it can be someone like the person if you're doing a group of people rather than a specific real individual, or it can be a symbol. And then you need to type some background information. So most of this slide is not background information, but most of this slideshow, this presentation does not, it's a very small part of what I'm asking you to do, but you do need to give us some background information in this first slide. So now when we get to the audience slide, we're just walking through all of the questions on page 2 of the assignment. So we've now talked about, I plan to write a plea for understanding on behalf of, that's the subject, and now the audience is blah, blah, blah. So now when you go to the slide and write about your audience, you're writing a little bit more. You are writing some things your audience probably thinks about your subject. That's true of every good piece of writing, is you have some ideas about what the people you are writing for already think. And that's what you write this slide about. And so on this slide, you probably are going to say things like, you may think, or something like that, or a lot of people think. Okay, so that second slide is a little bold and audacious. It's making some assumptions, you could say. It's not being judgmental about it. It's just your starting point for your presentation. You have to be able to visualize who you're writing for. Now, the next 3 slides are hardship slides. So I don't have to say very much about that. And I don't have to say very much about the human qualities slides. But what I do need to say is within these slides, I've made 6 for you, but you're going to need at least 5. So you'll delete one of those, and you may add some more. So let me show you how to add another slide and delete a slide, and then I'll show you a little more about what needs to be on these slides. So you click on any one of the ones that you want to delete, let's say, and you right-click and then click delete, and the slide will disappear. Now, if you need another hardship slide, then you right-click and you click duplicate slide, and it will create exactly the same slide right after the one you're working on. So what needs to be on here? It says examples of how this person has experienced hardship, or examples of how this person is just like any other human being. And you'll notice it says source name on both of those. So again, the source name is not the whole website. The source name is just this first part of the website, after HTTP or HTTPS and before the first slash. So something.com. Okay, if it's a website. And if it's an interview, then you just put the name of the person you interviewed. These slides have to have details, okay? And that's what you did this page 3 chart for. So a detail is a thing, a place, or a sense perception seen through the eyes of your subject. It is something that you can talk about what it means to them. That is what allows us to have empathy. So all of these slides, all the hardship slides, and all the human quality slides have to include a detail. If you have to have a minimum of 5 of these slides, and you can have more, and every single one of them has to have something on it that could be on this chart. Now, maybe you'll do this chart and you'll change your mind and you'll put something else on. That's fine. This is a pre-writing activity. But every detail is a thing or a place or a sense perception, a smell, a taste, something like that. Finally, you are going to reflect. So the reflection is 50% of your grade, and there are 2 reflection slides. So each of them would be 1/4 of your grade. The reflection slides relate to what you did to change others' minds. Okay, so what do you hope you have taught your audience? And what effect do you hope you have had on others by spreading this information and helping people to empathize with this person? How have you made the world a better place, might be one way to put that. And the second reflection slide is about yourself. What have you learned? Now, these reflections need to be very specific. You need to talk about what exactly you told other people about that you hope makes a difference and you hope more people know about. And you need to talk about exactly the moments of insight or decision that happened to you while you were researching. So they might have happened in your mind while you were planning, they might have happened while you were interviewing, or they might have happened to you while you were reading something online. Or they might have happened while you were taking notes, or they might have happened while you were thinking about something. But whatever it was, that story needs to be told. Again, if you run out of room on the reflection slides I gave you, you right-click, you hit duplicate, and you just continue on the next reflection slide. Okay, so notice there's reflection A, changing others' minds, reflection B, what you have learned. Now, the reflection slides are reflection, meaning something is happening again. You already talked about your reflection beforehand. What do you hope to teach others? You wrote that down at the very beginning, before you had done your research, before you created your project. Now you look back at these. So what I hope to teach others through this project should be part of what you say on reflection A. So I hoped to teach others this. Now that I've done it, I changed my mind. Now that I've done it, I hope to teach them this, so on and so forth. Okay, so refer back to your original intention. The last slide is the sources. So remember, I've been talking about source names and saying don't put the whole website, okay? But now you do need to have the whole web page, okay? So the web address goes here. Now these are MLA formatted. I'm not going to explain them. You can look online for MLA format. But all you need to do is replace and fill out everything inside the brackets that I've given you. So there are 4 sources, 1 interview and 3 websites. You might only have 1 interview and 2 websites. Okay, you need at least 3 sources to get the highest grade. You might have 3 interviews. You might have 1 website and 2 interviews, but you should aim for 3 or more sources. All right, so I hope this has been helpful. And you know how to reach me if you have additional questions.